Okay, guys, here's where I'm at with this display, which is so far the biggest hurdle I got to make with this radio. I don't know what to do. I've looked online. I've checked YouTube out, videos on repairing glass, and man, there's so many different. Some say acrylic, two-part acrylic. Others say super glue, Gorilla Glue, epoxy. I'm not getting a good consensus on anything that's perfect to repair glass, and I think that's probably true because it's kind of a tricky thing. I bought some Gorilla Glue, clear, new product, but I guess hadn't been out too long. I hadn't seen it before, but anyway, I think I'm going to give it a try. The only downside to it I could see is it's slow drying, that, and it really wants things clamped together, and I just don't see how I'm going to be able to clamp it. So I don't know. I mean, if I can get it to where I can get it held together, then what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to just do a little test one, and I'm going to take this little sliver I got here, piece one, and I think I'm just going to try dab a little bit of Gorilla Glue on there, and get her set as straight as I can, and let her set for 2 or 3 hours or 24 hours or whatever. We'll let it set till tomorrow, and then we'll see how good it adheres strength-wise, and how clear it is, and if it's a viable option. So anyway, let's go ahead and I don't think I need to shake that up. It's got an interesting smell to it. Smells kind of almost like dishwashing detergent or something. It's different. It's almost a clean smell. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a very, very light. Whoa, that's almost too much. That's probably enough for the whole piece. I'm talking very, very, very thin. Spread it on there. And like I said, I don't worry too much about the front side of it. But I think I can clean it up. It actually says to actually wet part of it. I think I will do that. I'll wet the other side, which is interesting. I'll get me a little bottle of water here, and I'll try to follow instructions as best I can. And I'm just going to dip my finger in that, and I know I'm going to be gluing it right there, so I'm just going to put a little bit of water there. And then I'm going to try and keep this only on the cracked part, not anywhere on the adhering parts of it. And let's just see if I can lay it down here. Put a little weight on this. I don't want it lifted up. And that's not working good. Even try to put a little weight on this side just to kind of push it. And see how that works. Like I said, I took the little smallest sliver piece first, and we'll just test that to see if this is going to be a viable option or not. I will slowly but surely take each piece, wet it down, glue it down, hold it down, let it dry, and slowly but surely piecing this together. I've now glued 2 pieces of that glass back together. It's not, by all means, not perfect, but that Gorilla Glue clear does seem to be really good about drying clear, and it's not expanding like some of the other Gorilla Glue. So I think I'm going to continue to try to use it. Like I said, it's not perfect, but what I'm doing is slowly but surely is, well, I'll do another one here. Kind of, you can watch my little process here, but they say to wet one side of it, which is unusual for glue. But so what I'm doing is just slightly dripping a little bit of water over that one edge. And then I get my next glass sliver out here, kind of line up where I know it's going to go, And I'm telling you, I lightly put on the glue. The first two pieces I've glued, though, it seems like it's holding pretty good. So that's why I'm going to continue to give this stuff a try. And as you can see, I just make sure I get it nicely laid across, and then I can take, since it's, you know, fresh out of the tube, I can just wipe off any excess that I see. And then I'm just going to take it and I just line it up. Tapping it. So what I've been doing is I've just been weighting it down. Just a can. Then I get this just to add a little extra pressure on there. Just let it dry, and been letting it dry about 3 or 4 hours between each one of them. Then I'll come back and I am knocking it away. I'm down to what, two more slithers, and then it'll be glued back together, and then we'll see. And so far it seems to be pretty strong. I think that's my main thing is to get it back together where at least I can trust it's going to hold it, and we'll go from there. Okay, as we piece this, as the hourglass turns. Is that what? No, that's bad. I don't even think that's the name of that soap. But anyway, we're back on this soap opera of trying to glue this glass faceplate back together. It is, I mean, so far what I've glued seems to be holding. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and I'll same process. I'm gonna wet it up just a little bit as per the instructions. It says wet one side, so wet it up a little bit. So far that does seem to be working. Get my Gorilla clear. Lightly lay a bead on here. That seems to work pretty good, about as good as I found of anything. And I add a little bit of weight here. Get a little extra. Doesn't weigh a lot, but anything I can get to give it a little extra pressure against that glass. There we go. Now it's back to wait several hours and come back and do the process again. We're now down to the last glue finally. This has been a slow increment thing. So far, I mean, I don't want to, it feels pretty strong so far. I don't want to get carried away on it. I mean, it is a broke piece of glass. Clean these edges off real good here. Get this last piece glued together. We're just going to follow the same process we've been doing. As it says on the Gorilla glue instructions, slightly dampen one side of it. I guess the water kind of activates it. I'm not sure exactly how the water plays into that, but anyway, we will follow the instructions. And then we get a little of our clear Gorilla glue. And I mean a light coat. A light coat. It's a little too heavy, but I'll clean that off a little bit. Make sure I get it good and in that glass area. That's the area that matters. And then I just wipe off any of the excess on the glass part. And then oh, where's my little? And then we'll slowly, surely slide that together like that. And it's almost as good as a clamp. There's where I want it. And I believe we're going to call that good. And that is the last glue joint I have to do on it. We'll see how it turns out after this one's dry here in a couple hours. Okay guys, well, we got it finally glued back together piece by piece. I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, it's I will give this Gorilla Glue a plus rating. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. It did glue it, and it seems to be pretty solid. And it did dry clear. I wouldn't say my gluing job was perfect, but it's not bad, and it's better than a broke piece of glass in 5 pieces, right? Well, the Gorilla Glue definitely put it back together, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how much I trust it. I mean, that's a lot of breaks. So I think what I'm going to do is I cut me up a couple pieces of some packing plastic. Is actually what it is. It's, you know, it's that clear stuff that you get in the ones. The packages are real hard to open. But anyway, I think I'm going to actually at the top and bottom, because you can't see it because that's darkened out. I think I'm going to put some I'm going to epoxy some of these along the outside edges here and here, just to give it just a little bit more support. I mean, it does seem to be solid, but I figured the more support I get, the better I can be. So I'm going to go ahead and epoxy a strip there and there. I'll come back when I get that. Okay, I mixed up a little bit of epoxy, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I actually laid some little plastic strips I took off of some of the wrapping from it was from something I had anyway. Just some thin plastic, and I laid some epoxy just along these outer edges, not on the glass part. Not because the Gorilla Glue didn't hold, but just I figured that would strengthen it up a little bit. Honest be told, I was sitting there cleaning it up and kind of pushing on it hard, and actually broke it in a spot that wasn't broke. So now it's got, what, 7 breaks in it. So that's why I went in and did that. But testament for one thing is the Gorilla Glue, it didn't break at the, you know, I didn't break a joint I glued. I actually broke in between 2. But, you know, it's got so many cracks in it, and I thought maybe this would keep it from cracking out anymore. But anyway, we're gonna finalize this. This is the best it's gonna get. I'll keep a lookout for them. Maybe one of these days I'll luck into one of these glass pieces that's brand new, or figure out some way to scan it and then silk screen it on a new piece of plexiglass or something. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this part of it. We'll get back to I guess it'll be like part 4. We're gonna start tweaking and tuning the DX-75 or the World Traveler and see how she performs. Have a great day. This is the Electron Man, and if you haven't, please like and subscribe.